Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Student Accommodation at Derby presentation from the University of Derby. My name is Steve Ward, and I work for the Student Living team. And I've got my colleague Lisa Varley with me. And today we will be talking and going through the reasons why moving to University Halls in Derby is the right choice for our first year students. So a little bit about us. We are award-winning accommodation. So we are, as a university, in the top 20 for teaching quality as measured by the Times Good University Guide 2024. We are in the top 20 overall UK for student satisfaction. 96% of our UK graduates are in employment or further studies. We carry out innovative research that has a real world impact. And specifically to halls, our halls were voted the best university housing and the best environmental management in the Global Student Living Index 2023. Just a little bit more about that. So the Best University Housing Award takes into consideration all of the student satisfaction measures for accommodation. And what that measure means is that our halls were rated the best in the UK compared to every other accommodation provider in the country. And that's the second year that we have received that. So that is a good accolade for the quality of the services here, as is we are the only UK Platinum certificated operator of accommodation. So hopefully that gives you some assurance of the quality of accommodation here. So a little bit about our offer. So the benefits of living in halls. Obviously, it's a great way to explore independence, meeting friends and other people that are on the course with you. It is the place where everybody who is moving away for the first time tends to be. So it is the best place to meet people who are going through the same experience as you are. We advertise all of our rooms at a set room price, and that room price covers everything, including the high-speed Wi-Fi. So there's no additional costs that you need to make to us, and you will see all of our prices advertised on our website. We take rent payments at 3 times a year in October, January and April, and we take those after the student loan payments have been taken. So other than a £50 deposit to secure the room, there is no upfront costs for you when making the decision to come and live in halls. Most of our halls have a weekly cleaning service. So all of our halls, with the exception of Darley Bank and Flamsteed Court, we have a weekly cleaning service. So I have our cleaners that come in and clean your kitchens, any communal toilets and corridors. They don't clean ensuite toilets and they don't clean bedrooms, but they do clean the communal spaces. One of the benefits of being part of the university is that we can call on the university's estates team. So we have quick maintenance turnaround times. And we like to think that we've got a variety of budgets, rooms to suit all budgets. And on the next slide, I will go into that in a little more detail. All of our halls are located close to the university buildings and close to the city centre. So they are all within a sort of half a mile area on the outskirts of the city, and they are near all of the university campuses, including the new business school that is being built. So I said a little more about the choices. So we have 7 halls, and you'll see pictures of those on the screen now. All of those, with the exception of Flamsteed Court, are large traditional halls of residence. Flamsteed Court is a smaller residence that it tends to be our sort of postgrad community that sort of move there. So we do feel that we have got rooms to cater for all for all budgets. So there is quite a large cost variation between our cheapest hall and our most expensive. So our premium accommodation, which is Agard Court and Darley Bank, we have rooms there as high as £174 a week, right through to Princess Alice Court, which is our budget site, which is £115 a week. And we have a whole variety of price points in between there. So, hopefully there's something there to suit your budget. We do have car parking on most of our sites. For those of you who need to bring a car, that is an additional cost that we take in August. It's around £350 a year. What we say to students is that you don't need a car for part of your degree, so you don't need it to get around academic campuses or Derby itself. But if you do need to bring a car for personal reasons, then we do have that facility on most of our halls. You also have the option to return with us in the second and third year. So that is growing in popularity. So this year we've got around 600 second and third year students that stay with us. So on each of our halls, we allocate a proportion of the site for our second and third year students. And we are seeing an increased demand for students that want to stay with us through the entirety of their academic journey. You can apply to live with friends. So if you are either coming with somebody from where you live, that is something that you are able to do. You just need to sort of identify that on the application form. And the way that we allocate is that we allocate into mixed gender or single gender flats that you are asked as part of that application form to express your preference in that area, and we will allocate accordingly. All of our halls are safe and secure, so we have good CCTV that covers all of our communal areas. We have a nighttime staff and we have secure intercom access into the flats. We have staff working on each of our sites 24 hours a day, so there is always somebody working on each of our halls who is there and available on the end of the 24-hour staff number, who can help support and deal with sort of student queries and issues as they come in. We are also, as I said earlier, we are a university-owned accommodation, so that comes with strong links to the university. So that's strong links into a number of the areas there, be that academic areas, well-being, support areas. So what that does is hopefully provide reassurance that if people have issues that they need to resolve elsewhere within the university, our team are well equipped to support, signpost and guide people to the relevant places. I will now pass you over to my colleague Lisa, who will talk you through our Residence Life programme.
Right, hello everybody. My name's Lisa Farley. I'm the Residence Life Manager here at Student Living. So we have a programme of events that are exclusive for our students who live in our accommodation. So we put on a programme that runs right from September right through to July. We have over 100 events a year, and they vary from we do day trips to various cities, so London, Manchester, Birmingham. We do Christmas market trips. We do laser quest, quiz nights, bingo, virtual reality nights, Dungeons and Dragons, cookery, you name it. We've got something that hopefully will appeal to everybody. We have this year we've got a 98% satisfaction rate, which is really, really positive. So very happy about that. And really just gives the students an opportunity to make new friends and try new things and feel as part of a community within our halls. So you're able to attend the events at your particular hall and other halls as well. So if you have friends that you've made in other halls, you can then attend events with them as well. We also have, so just talking about some of the facilities that we have within the halls, we've got games facilities. So most of the halls have either pool tables or table tennis. And we have DVD players, PlayStations, large flat screen TVs, and things like that. So there's study areas as well in some of our common rooms as well that are able to be used for study groups or individual study as well. All of our kitchens have cooker, fridge, freezer, microwave oven, kettle and toaster, and a breakfast bar or table so that you can obviously sit and have your meals. Those things are provided, so kettles and toasters, etc., don't need to be brought with you when you come to university. So one less thing to think about. Some of the kitchens also have sofas and soft seating and a television, and all the details of that will be on the website as to which room types and flat types they are. We have laundry facilities at every hall, so they are in every single common room area. So we have you use a card which you can top up and use both the washers and dryers. And also we have free bicycle storage at every site. So every site has a locked bike storage that you can use for free. Thank you. I'll hand you back to Steve.
So thanks, Lisa. So as Lisa said, there's lots and lots of information on our website, which will help you familiarise yourself with our halls. So each of our halls have got an individual web page, and on that web page you will be able to see our prices, the facilities. There's 360-degree tours where you can go into each of our room types and sort of pan around the room as if you were in it to familiarise yourself with that, and you can take that virtual tour with us. But what we do encourage people to do, if they're able to, is to actually attend one of our open days. So we open up a number of our room types on our open days, and students and visitors, students open up their rooms to the visitors, and we encourage people to come down, actually go into the facilities for themselves, speak to the students who are there about their experience, and sort of how they find living with us. So there's some information further on in the presentation about our next open day, but if people are able to come, we would strongly encourage them to come along and see us at one of those. So a little bit about how you apply. Appreciate some of you may already be beyond the open day stage and be sort of, made your decision that you're coming to Derby. So you can apply for us at halls once you have accepted your offer to study from the university. So you need an offer from the university, unconditional or conditional, and at that point you can make your application to halls. You will be given a 9-digit student ID through the university, and that is what you use on our system to recognise you and make that application. So you find our application on the university's website. So you go into the Life section. I believe it is on the top of that of the homepage, and then you'll find accommodation and how to apply. On there, you will be given questions where you have to put your top 3 halls in order of preference. We allocate on a first come, first served basis, so we will always try to allocate you as high up that list as we can. So what we say to people is, well, if you've got an offer to study and you're coming to Derby, don't delay in making that application. The earlier in the cycle you do that, the best chance that you have of us being able to provide you with your first choice allocation. As I said earlier, we ask you to specify what gender preference is for the flat. Other than that, we allocate based on your age and your choice and order of accommodation. We don't look at academic programs. We allocate based on those choices you've given us. We guarantee students a place in halls if they apply before the 31st of July. And if we have spaces beyond that, then obviously we remain open at that point. But even if we didn't at that stage, we would support you seeking alternative accommodation in the city. All we ask is for an upfront payment of £50. That's not an additional charge. That is deducted off your first term's rent payment. It's just used to secure your booking at that point. And as we say, once you've secured that place, you'll be invited into a chat group on Tap, which there's a lot of handy information there about halls and any questions where you're able to sort of ask questions if you've got anything that you need to know the answer to. So our next open day is Saturday, the 22nd of June. So if you would like to attend that, you need to speak to the Student Services team. It gives you the opportunity to speak to the Student Services team, participate in a taster event for your sessions, take a tour of the campus, and as we said earlier, explore our accommodation and really find out why our university, the University of Derby, will be the right choice for you. If you visit our website, derby.ac.uk, you'll be able to book your place on that. So we just come into the end now. So we've got, if you need to get in touch with us, those are our details. I believe this presentation will be shared with you after that. But our email contact and phone contact is there. But our staff are here Monday to Friday to answer any queries that you have. We recognise that, moving away and coming to university is a big decision, and there might be things that you need answers to. So please, whether you've made an application or not, if you've got questions, get in touch with our team and we will help with that. So thank you very much for attending, and I hope the information Lisa and I have given you is useful. I will now hand over to Charlotte to answer any questions that may have come in during this, but thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Lisa. That was an excellent presentation. And I can see that we've already got a few questions in the chat, so we'll start to go through them. And if anyone else has any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A section. And if we don't get around to your question in time, like Steve said, please do get in touch with the Student Living team, who will be happy to help you. So the first question that we have today is, when will I be sent my offer of accommodation?
So that depends at the time of year that you make your application. So at this time of year, from April, we are sending out offers of accommodation probably within 2 or 3 days of you making that application. So you will be told very quickly where you've been allocated. If you make your application in the January, February, you will receive communication within 2 or 3 days confirming whether you've got your first choice, second choice, or third choice. So you will still get that confirmation, but it won't be the offer and the contract details. We tend to send them out from around Easter time. But anybody who makes an application will know where they have been allocated within 2 or 3 days.
Perfect. Thank you, Steve. Another question is, when is moving in day for September 2024?
That is a good question. It is mid-September. Let me just tell you. So it is Saturday, the 14th of September.
Thank you. Someone else has asked, where do I find my 9-digit student number that I need to apply for halls?
So that should be on your offer of offer to study. So where you have been given confirmation from the university that you have been offered a place at Derby, you will be provided with that number somewhere on that communication. If for whatever reason that wasn't on there, and I'm not aware of instances where that is, then what we'd advise is that you contact the team that sends that communication out, who'll be able to provide that.
Thank you, Steve. Another question that we've had is, when do I have to start paying my hall's rent?
So we take it at 3 points of the year in October, January and April, and it's within a fortnight of the student loans landing in student bank accounts. So there is a £50 deposit that we take at the point you make the application, and then we take term 1 in October, term 2 in January, and term 3 in April.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you. And another student has asked, what is transport like between halls and each site?
So the university offer a free unibus service, so that covers the halls of residence, the main academic campuses. It goes to the bus station, train station, and other sort of key places that students need to get to. So that timetable in term time is designed around the academic calendar and provides good links around all of the academic buildings, the main transport hubs and halls, and hence why we say to students you don't need a car to sort of study in Derby.
Thank you, Steve. And someone else has asked, can I only live in halls in my first year?
So no, I think we said in the presentation, we do facilitate now a growing number of second and third years. We are seeing an increased demand for that. So no students can absolutely return to us, can do their entire degree living with us.
Thank you, Steve. And I think I've got a question for Lisa. Someone has asked, they know that you've already touched on activities within halls, but are there any specific activities within the halls themselves for people to get involved in?
Yes, so we have a full programme of activities. Most activities take place in the common rooms, so you don't have far to go to participate. So you can just pop down to the common room and join in things like quizzes, bingo, cookery, film nights. things like that. And then we do some stuff off-site as well. So we do a lot of sports activities with the sports centre up at the university. We do inter-hall competitions in various sports, and then we do day trips and things like that. So there's plenty to get involved with, either staying on the accommodation site or leaving it for the day.
Thank you, Lisa. And someone else has said, when can you apply for parking?
So we send the parking, the applications for parking go out after clearing. So what happens is students have applied to live in halls, they've been given their offer of accommodation, they've been given the contract, but obviously for the majority of students, they are then waiting on their A-level results in August for final confirmation that they're coming. So once we know that, once we've got A-level results and we know exactly who's coming, we then communicate out to all the students on that hall, and that's when we open parking applications.
Thank you. And then I've got a couple of questions here that I'm going to try and tie together. So someone said, what should I bring with me when I move into halls? Is there anything that I shouldn't bring? And then someone else has specified, do you allow Alexas to be brought from home?
So yes, we allow Alexas. So we've got the Wi-Fi is for multiple devices. So you can absolutely bring that. So what, as Lisa said, things like kettles and toasters and stuff are provided. Obviously the rooms have got the fixtures and fittings. So there's nothing specifically that we would say that you need to bring. We do have a list of the types of things that you would be useful to bring. So you will need to provide your own bedding. So pillow, duvet, things like that. But there is information on our website. So what I will do after this, Charlotte, is direct students to that to see the full list. In terms of prohibited items, we have things like we just have to make sure things are like electrically compliant and things like that. So we would deal with that on arrival.
Thank you. Another student has asked, if I am awaiting for my portfolio to be reviewed, should I still apply right now? So is that as in they're waiting? Have they been? It would depend. If they've been given an offer to study at the university, then yes, they can apply. Because even if they find that they're not coming to the university, we will just refund the £50 deposit and they can move elsewhere. So if providing they've been given an offer to study and they have a student number, then there is nothing. We would encourage all students to apply at that point. Thank you. Someone has said, touching on what you said earlier about staying in halls for second and third year, someone's asked, is that place guaranteed or do you need to reapply? So you do have to reapply each year. So we open returning applications as early as sort of late October, early November. So no, you do have to reapply in each year. If you wanted to return in the second year and the third year, you'd have to apply each year. Is it guaranteed? We do get to a stage at this time of year from April, May that we are closing returner rooms due to demand. So we haven't got an infinite supply of it. However, the application process there runs from October to November through to about April. So providing you make that application within that 6-month period, you would be given a room in the halls. Thank you. Someone else has asked, is there a starter pack in accommodation so that they know what items they need to bring, on the first day and the first week? So I think I'd refer back to the list on the website, which I'll provide the link for after this. And in addition, we do participate in uni kit out, so you can order through us sort of some of the essentials that you can bring with you in September. Thank you. And then someone else has asked, when will group chats with housemates be made/released? So can I defer to you there, Charlotte? Because I believe that's something your team is looking at. Yeah, that's fine. So we have something called the Ambassador Platform, which is TAP for short. And we have made a student accommodation at Derby big group chat. So once you've received your offer and you've applied for accommodation and you've been given a place in that accommodation, you'll receive an email with a link from the student living team, and that link will take you to a group chat on our TAP platform. You do have to sign up for it. It's completely free, just name, email address, basic stuff like that. And then you'll be added to the Halls of Life, Halls of Resident accommodation chat. And then from there, you can meet your future housemates, speak to each other, figure out what dorms people are in. And then from there, once you've made that connection, we advise you connect with those people off TAP just to not clog up the one group chat that we've made. Thank you. Another question that we've got is, what happens if I feel homesick?
So we've got a range of support there. You know, we do understand that for some students, the transition from home into university is that can be challenging. So we, as I said earlier, we have 24-hour staffing on each of our halls. So one of our members of staff is always there to talk to you. So the first thing that we would recommend is that you come and talk to us, and we've got staff there all through the day and night, and we'll happily sort of sit down and discuss that with you and try and support. And being part of the university, we said earlier, we've got links to the wellbeing team and stuff. So if it's more in-depth support or advice or guidance that you need from that, we will then direct you and support you into those services who would sort of help in that area.
Thank you, Steve. Someone has asked, I am thinking about commuting, but if I change my mind, I want to live in halls instead once I start. Will I be able to do this? Thank you.
As in once they start from September. So that would depend on room availability at that point. So if we've allocated all of our rooms for the start of September, then there's a possibility that we wouldn't have available rooms at that point. In reality, obviously students do move around for one reason or another. So generally, if we have vacancies at that point and the student decided they wanted to come, if they made that application, we would allocate you into halls from that point.
Thank you, Steve. Someone has asked, what is the difference between living in university halls rather than private student accommodation?
So a number of things, really. So first and foremost, the link with the university and the fact that it's, we've got all those sort of links already embedded in our services. We tend to have shorter contracts than the private sector. So some of the private sector contracts run throughout the 12 months, whereas ours are designed around the term. So they're less, there's less financial commitment there. And there's less financial commitment generally. Some of the private providers ask for sort of up to 8 weeks rent in advance, so that you can be providing a big upfront fee, before your student finances hit. Whereas obviously, as we've said, we take ours later in the year once people have got their finances in place. For first year students in particular, living in halls that's where, unless you're commuting, that's where the majority of first years are going to be. So if you're wanting to meet like-minded people going through that same experience with you as you will find them in the university-owned halls as opposed to the private sector.
Thank you, Steve. We've had a question which I think I might be best to answer, but obviously please add on if there's anything I've missed. We've had a student say, why does UCAS say that Derby courses start on Sunday the 1st of September, but move-in date is September the 14th? So just for peace of mind for students, you will be told nearer the time of when your course starts, of when the official welcome week is. It tells you all about the Freshers' Fair and things that you can do on campus. So don't worry about, if there's any worry that your course starts before move-in date is, that's not usually the case. So don't worry about that. And more information does come in August time, all about welcome week and things to expect in your first few weeks. So yeah, don't worry about that. Someone has asked, and this might be a question for Lisa, I'm not too sure. Someone has asked, how much space in the kitchen is there for students? Someone's specified like cupboard, fridge and freezer. And I think someone is just worried about sharing that communal space with others.
So most of our flats are shared between sort of 5 or 6 people, depending on which accommodation you're allocated. But there is plenty of space available for everybody. So you usually work that out when you arrive. So you have, sort of a big cupboard space each usually, and some shelving. And then also fridge space. If there's, if there's 6 of you, sometimes there's like 2 sort of double kind of fridge freezers. So there's never an issue with space. So that's not something to worry about before you come. You genuinely sort of work that out amongst your flatmates when you arrive.
Thank you, Lisa. I think I've got another question for you as well. Someone has asked, can I access facilities in other accommodations other than my own?
Yes. So if you're in one of our accommodations, then you can absolutely use the facilities in the others. So you can use the common rooms, the meeting spaces. We have some common rooms that have sort of special study areas that you can use. So you could hire the room. You could also block out the common rooms, so you could have a party or study area in there for an evening or a daytime or whatever. There are plenty of options, and you can absolutely use the other spaces as well.
Thank you, Lisa. I think I've got another question back to Steve. Someone has asked, how many accommodations or halls offer a 52-week contract?
So it's actually so it's not a 52-week contract we offer. We offer a 50-week contract and that's although anybody can apply for it if they need it. They tend to be students on the medical courses and things like that, because some of their courses work a little bit differently than the academic year, and they have placements. So we tend to offer that at 2 halls on any given year. So that's usually either Agard Court or Peak Court as an ensuite, and St Christopher's Court as a non-ensuite site.
Thank you, Steve. And someone has asked if their parents are helping to pay for student rent. How did they go about organising that?
So when we go out for payment details, obviously it's actually managed by the university's finance team rather than us in halls. But what they're obviously asking for is details as to where that payment is to be taken from. So at that point, if it's coming from a parent's bank account, then it would be your parents' details that will need to be provided at that point.
Thank you. And someone has asked, do I need a TV license when living in halls?
Yes, you do, I'm afraid. So each of the rooms are classed as separate dwellings. So yeah, every student room that is rented out does require a TV license.
Thank you. And then I think you might have covered this already, but just to 100% confirm, someone has asked, is the £50 deposit refundable should I not get a place at the university?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Thank you. Someone has asked, what is the size of the bed/mattresses?
So I don't know the size in terms of sort of centimeters, but most of the beds are small doubles. So and I think that's like the traditional that you'd get in at sort of home, like a small double, as opposed to sort of king size, queen size sort of beds. The exception that is Prince Alice Court, which is a single bed. That's our budget office site, so that's a single bed size.
Thank you. Someone has asked, going back to the contract question, someone has asked, are there any possibilities to book the accommodation for only 6 months?
No, the accommodation that you either book a 42-week contract, which is the main one that people book, which is around the main academic calendar, or a 50-week contract. Unfortunately, you don't have the option to book it for a set period other than those 2 time frames.
Okay, thank you. Someone has said that they have paid for a room, but they haven't yet received an invitation to any sort of group chat. So just peace of mind, if you've not received it yet, then it is on its way. Don't worry, you're not missing out on anything yet. You might just not have received the official invite, but it is coming. Don't worry about missing out on that. Another question is, someone said, I'm thinking about bringing my bike. Will there be somewhere to store it safely?
Yes, so all of our halls have free and secure bike storage. Yeah, that's not a problem.
Someone has asked, is it advised to bring your own ironing board, or is it provided?
Do you know what? I don't actually know the answer to that. I will have to have a look at that list that we talk around later. I don't believe we provide it, but I don't know for definite, if I'm honest.
Thank you. And then someone has asked, can students stay over at other friends' accommodations or each other's rooms? Can they visit and things like that?
Yeah, so we say to people that you shouldn't have a visitor stay with you for more than 2 nights in a week. But yeah, we understand that people do have visitors over for a variety of reasons. So yeah, we just ask that that's kept to a minimum of 2 nights a week.
Thank you. And someone has asked, what support do you offer for students with health conditions?
So the university offer a wide range of support through the wellbeing team. We also offer any support that we're advised to provide through the wellbeing team, be that sort of specific adaptations for a health condition or things like that. So when you make your application, what we ask is that you give us as much detail as possible about your health conditions, and we will then liaise with the wellbeing team and make sure that we are allocating you into a room that is appropriate and will appropriately support that.
Thank you. Another question. If I don't get on with my flatmate, can I move rooms?
So again, we do facilitate room moves over the year. People, there are circumstances sometimes where people are needing to move around. It is obviously based on our availability at the time, as I said earlier. But yeah, absolutely. If you've got challenges with your flatmates, or you're not getting on, or whatever it is, or you come and speak to our team, and wherever possible, we would support. We want people to feel happy in hall. So if that's not the case, yeah, come and talk to us and we'll try and help there.
Thank you very much, Steve. So that's all the questions that we have so far today. So thank you everyone for attending. Thank you, Steve and Lisa, for your presentation. If you have any further information or guidance, or want to find out anything else, please visit the University of Derby website or get in touch with the Student Living team. Steve and Lisa, would you like to sign off?
Yeah, I'm happy to sign off on our behalf. So thank you very much for attending. I hope that's been useful. We will send some additional information out to you in relation to the presentation, contact details and questions that I wasn't able to answer. But yes, we hope to see you all in September with us. Thank you very much.